Hello, and welcome to Off the Field and Screens. Chad and Mary Ruth go to the movies. This week, what did we see?
We saw a big, bold, beautiful journey.
Yes, a big, bold, beautiful journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell.
I wouldn't want to anger both Ireland and Great Britain.
She mixed it up on our walk with somebody else the other day, but it doesn't matter. So, a big, bold, beautiful journey. That's what Trump says when he goes anywhere. It's a big, bold, beautiful journey.
Huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Maybe that's why the critics didn't like this one, is it subconsciously made them think of Trump. They were like, why don't I like this movie? I don't know. It's big, it's bold, it's beautiful.
I hadn't thought about that.
I thought of it right when I first saw it. I was like, big, bold, beautiful journey. Wow, the critics hate this movie. Sad. Anyway.
Which, was surprising to me because we both really liked this movie.
Yeah, and I think there is a lot to like. I think that critics tend to not like things that don't fit like a cookie cutter mold.
And this definitely wasn't, because I think we both came out of it feeling like it was less of a movie, more of a play.
Yes, which makes sense that we would like it.
Yes.
Because we like plays, we like the theater.
I think also was something, like, I think we both assumed we were going to like it, that it would probably rank pretty high because of the actors, the premise looked really fun, and I actually thought that you would like it more than I would. Yeah. But because you're more of a romantic feelings movie, and I'm more of a action horror.
I mean, I like action. I like action movies.
But you like the deep feelings movies.
I do like them more than you do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm picking a movie, and I wonder if this has anything to do with it, I'll select a movie and you'll say, that's too heavy for me right now.
Yes, and then
but
I'm
like that.
What if we watch, like, people get eaten by zombies? Or what if we watch someone get possessed by a talking hand? The
difficult emotions.
No clowns.
Yeah.
Though no clowns. I draw the line at clowns.
So, yeah. So what did you like about it?
I think the acting to me was probably what drew me the most. They're both very compelling, very engaging.
Yeah.
You mentioned that they do a good job with like what could be awkward dialogue.
Yeah.
They do a really good job.
Yeah, I thought the acting was really great. Beyond just the two leads, it was...
Oh, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, which I'm sure her name was in the promotional materials. Yeah. But it's always a wonderful surprise. Fleabag is one of my most favorite TV shows. I've watched it more than I care to admit.
Yeah. And then Hamish Linklater.
Yes.
And Lily Rabe played David, that's Colin Farrell's character. Hamish Linklater played David's father. And Sarah is... Margot Robbie's character, and Lily Rabe played her mother. And I thought those scenes with their parents were probably the two best scenes in the whole film.
Well, and I think Hamish Linklater and Lily Rabe are known to be good actors. I mean, Lily Rabe, I think probably most famously, or most recently, maybe American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And Hamish Linklater, famously, the first Fantastic Four film.
I don't remember that, but...
Because I just recently rewatched it.
Yeah,
and I was like, why does this man look familiar? And then I realized it was Hamish Linklater.
I didn't pull any of that.
I probably know him more because I have seen, surprise, surprise, Midnight Mass, which is a wonderful Netflix TV series done by... The name is escaping me. He's married to the girl with the curly hair who's a good actress, and she's in like a bunch of his movies. Mike Flanagan? He did Hush.
Yeah. Mike Flanagan.
Anyway, I'm getting off.
So the next thing I'd want to talk about is the director, Koga Nada, I think is how you say it.
Which we hadn't seen anything of his.
And you could see the clear influences. If you're like a Charlie Kaufman or Wes Anderson fan, I could see clear influences here. If you hate those, you would probably find this pretentious and overly artsy. But there is a lot of that, particularly like I appreciated what some people call like the film school shots, where they're walking through the woods and there's a shot of like from the ground with the camera looking across the creek and through the brush, seeing them standing and looking at a door. And I thought the compositions, that's what made it feel theatrical, is it was like it was on a stage, and you could try and get these snapshots of what like an audience would be able to see, rather than like an all-encompassing like God view of everything.
Yeah. And then there's literally the time that they were like in a black box.
Yeah.
Going to act out
Yeah.
certain memories or regrets in their life, which I thought was like
very
definitely
simple way you could stage that way,
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, oh, we're here and we're sitting on our one cube, our one box,
Yes.
and then we're going to use this to create these different scenes, just the two of us. We're going to make the world out of nothing, which is one of the themes of the movie, is kind of life is what you make it.
Yeah, so
there's a very fake it till you make it philosophy in it too.
Well, sorry, heading back a little to what you said about like the influences, I thought especially kind of like that the second scene where he goes to the rental car agency.
Yeah.
That to me felt very Wes Anderson. The quick talking, the stand in your light, like that to me.
Yes. And you said too about how far he had to walk. And it was dead silent, and it was just yeah. The Charlie Kaufman in like the quasi reality.
I don't know if I've seen a Charlie Kaufman one.
Yes, you did. You saw the one where I'm thinking, what is it called? I'm thinking about leaving you.
Oh my god.
Or what is it called?
I'm thinking of ending things, which we watched late at night, and I still think might have been a fever dream.
That's the feeling.
That is the feeling. Feeling.
You haven't seen, what is it, Being John Malkovich?
I have not seen Being John Malkovich.
Anyway, we're getting into a lot of pretentious film titles here. So, I think we always judge movies on expectation is part of it, right? So, I think the expectations, we talk about this a lot. Trailers sometimes set films up for failure or success. I think this trailer made it seem like it was going to be a romantic comedy or a fantasy romance comedy.
A much more traditional romance comedy, definitely.
Yeah, and it had some funny moments, but they were funny not in the way of like a rom-com, like hijinksy way, but more of a kind of, what is happening?
Well, and also it wasn't like there's a door out in the woods. Why is this here? This is really weird. The reality of this film is a lot more magical and whimsical. Like there was just kind of already an acceptance of magic with their GPS.
Yeah, their sentient GPS device.
Yes.
So there was an acceptance of it, and I think why it worked for me is because they didn't question anything that ever happened.
Except once. Margot Robbie asks one question after the first memory. And that's who put that door there.
Yeah.
No,
so it's not
what's the door? How could this have happened?
Yeah.
It's who put it there.
So it wasn't like some things were acceptable and other things weren't to them. It was very consistent. So as long as the rules of the world or the expectations of the world are consistent, it's totally fine.
Does that mean Burger King is magical?
Magical at writing jingles.
Yeah.
They do have the best jingles. So like the expectation, right? So I think yes, it was better than what I expected because it wasn't what I expected.
Yes.
Entirely. There were elements of it, but the way it veered away from like expectations I thought was good.
Have we seen another romantic comedy this year?
there just hasn't been a lot of that anymore.
Yeah, because it was, like you go in expecting the standard rom-com, and this was it was so different than the standard rom-com.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
And I do think it had interesting things to say about society, but we'll talk about that more in
the spoiler-filled section.
Take a look at our notes here. Acting, directing, imagery like a play. Alright, so we're going to just go through the spoilers now.
Alright, so I guess if you haven't seen it...
or should we do the ranking first?
No, we should do spoilers. Or should we do ranking? Yeah, let's think we should do ranking.
So the rating that I gave it 4.5 out of 5. And I ranked it 5th of 33 in my rankings. And
I'm pulling it up.
It's right here. And Mary Ruth ranked
I can't read that. I don't have my glasses on.
10th out of 33.
I knew it needed to be top 10.
Yeah. It was high quality. It was good.
Yeah, and I knew, like, when I was reading my list, I knew it couldn't go, like, below Freakier Friday because that felt wrong.
Yeah.
But I knew it probably needed to be, like, in my lower top 10, so that's why, like, it's a nice, like, 10.
Yeah, it's right at 10.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the more spoilery things, is the message of the film has a lot to do with stop chasing happiness and accept contentment and just enjoy the happy moments when they come by, because if you expect life to always be 100% joy, 100% everything's awesome, amazing all the time, you're always going to constantly be disappointed.
Well, and I also think it's a good message in terms of just, like, relationships in general, because you always hear, you guys can't see this, but our dog is off to the side demanding pets.
Yeah. Keep going.
So much of, like, a relationship is choice.
Yeah.
Trust is a choice. Marriage is a choice. Sometimes, like, you might not love your partner, or you might not like your partner, but you love your partner, and you have to, like, just choose to, like, get past things. And I think to what you're saying is, like, even if there's hard times, even if it's not Hollywood level stuff or, Hollywood level romances, like, it's going to be hard, but you have to choose to keep going and not bail.
Yeah.
When you get uncomfortable.
And it went beyond just, like, self-gratification. There wasn't... a lot of films like this would have a prolonged, gratuitous sex scene, and it almost, in terms of a healthy relationship, it didn't even mention sex.
It's implied after the wedding, she brings that guy.
Yes, but that wasn't a happy relationship.
No.
That was something to try and replace happiness, or something to try and have a joy-filled time for meaningless.
Yeah.
It's the meaning that gives... contentment. And sorry, I'm struggling with my thought here. I had another one. Sorry, Cece. That the idea of that what makes a couple work, or what makes a relationship work, is that what's truly intimate is that you let people into your memories and your past and the hardships and the struggles.
Yeah.
That's what intimacy really is, not this constant chasing of joy or perfection or trying to be good enough for another person. It is just being vulnerable and showing that, yeah, I'm a flawed person, but you love me anyway.
Yeah, and I think that there's a nice middle ground between, like, there's some movies that are like, you can't love anybody until you, like, completely 100% love yourself, or, like, there's this, like, love yourself completely movement. And then there's other things where, like, people who are, like, overly dependent in establishing their self-worth in relationships. And this is kind of like a happy medium, and that you have to accept that there are parts of yourself you're not going to like, but you have to forgive yourself and accept those parts. But you can also find validation and acceptance through others. So it's kind of a happy medium between, like, independent and external, like internal and external validation.
Yeah.
It's like Margot Robbie had to forgive herself for missing her mom dying.
Yeah.
But she also had to accept that other people could love her.
Yes. And I think one thing that I really appreciated about it is when a film has like a specific message it's trying to tell you, I think there's a few flaws you can have. There is the kind of like religious film, like where it's just propaganda for a theme. And then there is films that do it like they take a rubber mallet and beat you over the head with the point. Like The Long Walk did, which I didn't like for that reason. I felt like
no, it was just like simple. It was just a simple premise, and it didn't need to.
But no, hang on, we're not talking about that. Okay. But this film, a message in a film, what makes it strong, is that they're constantly trying to poke holes in the film's thesis. And this film, and A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, does constantly tries to poke holes in the character's theses, the message of the film, and it makes it stronger instead of, I think sometimes films have a tendency, if they have a message, to try and make it as simple and straightforward as possible, which just makes the message seem, oh yeah, of course, because they don't have any counterpoint to it. And it makes it, to me, that makes a film feel immature, naive, or just pretty much propaganda. And this one didn't feel like that. I felt like they constantly poked holes in in the arguments of the characters and the arguments of the film.
Well, even like the big setup of like, you know, Colin Farrell. See, I did it once and now I second guess myself. Even if I get it right. Did she just unplug that?
Yep.
Poppy! I know. How dare we both sit on a couch and there's no room for you, even though you often won't sit on the couch with us. Okay. So Colin Farrell says, you know, if I...
It stopped.
It stopped?
So, yeah, we won't have... we'll have to use the crappy audio. Sorry, if you're listening.
Sabotage!
Yeah, I should have put this up on the table. Yeah, no, whatever. No. Let's just finish up now.
Okay, so, because Colin Farrell says, you know, if I ever had a chance to tell myself, you know, something that's like, you're not special or whatever. Yeah. And then he does have the chance and he says, you're special.
Yeah, he says it anyway because it was very easy without the perspective of walking in his parents' shoes. And I think that's maybe a message that people don't want to hear as much now. Mm-hmm. But it is, I think, a good message that it's easy to forget that your parents are also people. And there are things that they went through that
you don't know about.
That you don't know about and they're not telling you, which affected their experience.
Which is, like, it's interesting how, like, well, also, like, he probably needed to know this because medical history, but this is a fantastical movie.
Yeah.
So we'll forgive them. Like, he didn't know he was born with, a heart defect or whatnot. And he had to learn that through meeting his father, like, at the hospital. Which, also, I liked how all of a sudden the rules kind of got changed again, where before it was their memories.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was no longer their memories. It was his parents' memories.
Yeah, also, almost having to go beyond just your own experience.
Yeah, there's like a generational thing going on there.
Well, to understand the world, you have to go... And I think that's something they both had to learn, is that the world doesn't revolve around you, that you aren't the little God center of the universe, that there are other people and other things that should affect your decision making. Yeah. And that happiness isn't a self thing, because that's what you were saying earlier, like the idea of like, oh, I have to make myself happy first. There is no such thing as making yourself happy first, because we don't live in a solo universe. We live in a universe with people, communities, and relationships.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to be happy in relation to other people. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, I learned how to be happy with me. I learned how to be happy with one other person. No, you are doing all those things simultaneously.
I also liked that it wasn't just about romantic love. It's about familial love as well, because like Margot Robbie not only like lets herself be in a relationship with Colin Farrell, she also at one point like asks and receives love from her mother.
Yeah.
And again, the same way with like Colin Farrell learning about the love of his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, and then it's different than what he expected.
Yeah.
So ultimately, if you were expecting to go see this and you were expecting to laugh and watch hijinks and sex, you will be sorely disappointed. If you were looking for something very artistic, like a play and something to think about and chew on for a bit, then you'll be very happy. And any other thoughts?
The one most unrealistic thing in this movie, besides the fact that like they run into a deer and the deer's guts is like yarn, is someone turning down Margot Robbie proposing marriage.
Oh, yeah. LOL.
I'm sorry, if
Yeah.
Margot Robbie proposed marriage to me, I think I just have to say yes.
Oh, that's disappointing to me. All right.
You would say no?
Yes, I'm already married.
Okay, if we're not already married.
What I say? Do I know her? Have I met her?
No, just Margot
Is she a
Robbie.
slob?
No, it's Margot Robbie. You know of Margot Robbie.
No, that's not enough for me. Sorry. I'm a
there's-
little bit less shallow. All right. Thank you for listening
I'm
to
gonna punch
Chad
you.
and Barry Rick Go to the Movies. Please listen next week. No idea what we're going to review because we don't know what we're going to see next. All right. Talk to you later.
Are you alive?
Call the police. All right. Bye.